A lot of countries in the world are screwed. Wars are rampant, world hunger isn't going anywhere, and a lot of people are struggling just to pay the bills. I can't fix those problems, but I want to avoid them by making my own country for less than $20. That's how much an average meal is these days. It used to be like $12 5 years ago. In this video, I'm going to answer the question, can I make a country with $20 in 1 week? Before we move on, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot and only takes a second. Let's explain how my 1 week time frame is going to be possible. There's a few things a country needs to be legitimate. Land, a flag, a government system of some sort, people, and recognition. Recognition is when another legitimate country says, yeah, you're a real country, which surprisingly takes a lot of paperwork to formalize a 5-word statement. Could I make a legitimate country? One day. Could I make a legitimate country in 1 week? Nope. Instead, my goal is to make something called a micronation. A micronation is a country declared independently that usually fails to be recognized by other nations. They can be for fun, for legitimate attempts to change their life, or to rebel against their host country. So let's go into my plan of making a micronation. A micronation has 2 essential requirements, land and a flag. For real countries or people aiming to make one, land needs to be unclaimed, or you need to be prepared to fight off a real country for it. However, if your goal is to make a micronation for fun, then you can enjoy your reign until the host country has enough of your antics and stops you by force. I don't own any land, so public property is going to be used. In this case, I'll claim my land on a beach. I aim to do this by designing a mini flag, planting it on the sand, and enjoying my new land until someone tells me to leave. But before that, I need a name. Here's the amazing name I thought of. Yeah, it's not that cool, but it's a name nonetheless. Now for the flag. Flags can be anything you want. Some countries make them super complex or super cool. I want my flag to be simple and recognizable, so my design does exactly that. You might be wondering why there's a crown on my head. Well, that leads to the other requirements for a micronation. These are the things a micronation should have. They're not bare essentials, but they're definitely a big help. These include a government system and a constitution. There are many different government systems, but they can be categorized into the following: democracies, power to the people; authoritarian, power to me; hybrid, some power to me and some power to the people. For Yapxico, my country will be an absolute monarchy, which is authoritarian. For existing countries, you're not allowed to make your own monarchy because otherwise everyone and their mother would be royalty. But if you make your own country, you can make the rules, such as declaring your DNA as royalty. This avoids the need to make formal systems that are required in democracy to pass laws and vote people in. Therefore, the law is like Simon Says, but replace Simon with Ryan. Now on to the constitution. A constitution is a set of rules for governing a country. Constitutions vary between countries, but it usually contains the following: the government structure, division of powers, rights of citizens, and an amendment process. This leads to a super long document with hundreds of sections to prevent people from finding loopholes. I don't have that kind of time, so Yapxico's constitution is only 4 statements. I hold absolute power. I can set any rule I like. You have to do what I say, and only my biological family members can override this constitution. Now onto the things that are nice to have. The last thing I want to do before claiming land is making something that all my citizens can be proud of, a national anthem. Here's a peek at what I've got so far. Come down to Yapxico, just remember that we're better, we don't tax the gold. You can spend your whole December scrolling on your phone, as long as you're a member of the place to go. I think everyone can vibe to this if anyone becomes a permanent citizen. Now it's time to claim my land. This is a video of me walking to some publicly owned land and claiming it as my own. The border is pointed out by me in the video. I brought my constitution, a crown, and my flag. So how much did all of this cost? Well, the only thing I actually spent money on was the train ride to get here. Here's how much that was. So yeah, running a country is much more difficult than I anticipated. So I'll hold off on the whole independence thing until prices double again. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to make. If you're ever in Australia, feel free to stop by Yapxico and listen to my national anthem. See you in the next video. Come down to Yapxico. Just remember that we're better, we don't tax the gold. You can spend your whole